Hi, good evening. My name is Mike Smith. I'm a third year media student here at Birmingham City University. The university have kindly asked me to do this live stream, so I'm here at the moment at the School of Media based in Birmingham City Centre. So over the course of the next hour or so, hopefully, I'll be taking all your questions, providing the answers as best and as honestly as I can. Really, this stream is designed to kind of, appeal to potential students that are thinking about coming to Birmingham City University. So, fire away. By all means, put your questions in the comments. I'll be able to see them on the live stream itself. And these questions can range from anything from facilities to specific courses, any concerns that you might have. I should just add as well that today we have been running an applicant day here at Birmingham City University, and it's gone fairly successful. Most of the students that I've spoken to today have been given an offer to come to Birmingham City University, which is extremely positive. So, fire away with all your questions. And I'll be able to see them as they pop up on the screen. And if there's any specific kind of areas that you want to look at, be it journalism, PR, or any of those kinds of specialities that you might be looking at within the media, then please do get in touch. So, as I say, I am a third year media student. I have actually decided to continue my studies, so I am going on to the Masters. And that's purely down to some of the projects that I've been working on since I've been here at the university. So I've done everything from social media, which is an extremely fascinating field to get into. It's not quite as simple as you might think, but it's great. It's allowed me to do things like this Facebook stream. I've also done a lot of video production. I've done things with graphics, but by nature I'm a journalist, first and foremost. And so these are some of the areas that I've been able to diversify in my time here at the university. And some of the things that I'm doing going forward as part of my third year project is to teach people how to build VR and deal with 360-degree content. So that's some of the things that I've been doing here during my time. And as I say, I will be looking to go on into the Masters, continue that research to educate people and hopefully help them to understand more about VR. So really, while we wait for some questions here, is we should really cover some of the key things of coming to Birmingham City University. There's the usual statistics in regards to the amount of students we have. I mean, we're more than capable of taking over 24,000 students, and that goes across all three campuses. Now, even though we're a school of media, there is a lot of benefit to having multiple sites across the city. We're here at Parkside, which is based in the city centre, but it gives us access here to not only the facilities such as the TV studios and the radio studios, but it gives us access to students on other courses such as business, English, literature. I'm just trying to think of some of the others because it's so diverse. And it gives us access to the arts. But then we have the smaller campuses, such as the School of Jewry, which is based in Birmingham's Jewry Core, which is a beautiful area of the city. And we also have Margaret Street, which is a School of Art. Now, these are smaller campuses, but by coming to BCU and having that kind of attitude of collaboration instilled within the student body, it means that we can actually go and work with these campuses. And that's a brilliant kind of selling point within the university, is being able to go and kind of diversify. So, I came here originally to do video games journalism, and I've done everything from enterprise and learning how to set up my own business, promoting events for business students, getting involved with the arts and promoting events. I've done marketing within the galleries, and these are the kinds of opportunities that you can kind of expect when you come to Birmingham City University, you try and get engaged with everything that goes on here. I should just add as well that the School of Jewellery has actually just opened its own gallery space at Victoria Street. So, you know, if you do come for an open day, be sure to check that out. And we also have our own arts gallery space here at Parkside, which is Parkside Gallery. So do, you know, encourage you to check these out should you come to one of the university's open days. So that's just a little bit about the site and the kind of the spread the university has over the city, so to speak. And certainly within the city centre, it's not just the collaboration with our own campuses, it's also the collaborations with other universities and stuff. Okay, so we have our first question from KTP. So I'll drop the other stuff for a minute. What can you expect from an interview at BCU for Media and Communications? That kind of depends, really. It depends on what kind of area you're looking at within media and communications, because there's quite a few specialist areas. If you're looking to do the broad course, which covers all kinds of elements, then what can you expect from the interview? Well, the interview process is very informal, actually, and some of the students that have been here today will be testament to that. Essentially, we want to see what your work's like, your portfolio, any kind of things that you've been working on. Now, if you're looking to come on a media and communications course, I would encourage you to get involved with things like social media, YouTube, blogging, those kinds of things, because those are things that will really, really help you when you come to any kind of higher education institution and go for those interviews, and they really do put you in good standing. But it's also about the university getting to know you. I'll tell you my story in that sense is that, like I say, when I came here, I was looking at doing journalism with the view to go into gaming journalism. My interview was pretty smooth. I brought a portfolio of work. These are just some things that I'd written online for like gaming sites of reviews and stuff. And after going over some of that information with my lecturer, with my current lecturers, they weren't that at the time, we got into a discussion about community management. You know, the lecturer found out more about me, I found out more about them, and that's when I made that decision that I would like to come here. So much so that I even had a nice discussion about the benefits of Twitter and community management. So really, to answer your question about what you can expect from an interview at BCU for a media and comms course, it's going to be something different than some of the other places that I've gone to, because it really is about you. It's about you showing us what you're all about, but us getting to know you as well. Now, it's easy for people to say, oh, that's just the university line, but that truly is the case. And that's something I've benefited from over the 3 years that I've been here, is that the faculty have actually taken the time to get to know me as an individual and what I'm all about, and that's allowed me to find out more about myself and what I can diversify. So that's what you can kind of expect from your BCU interview. But yeah, and you'll also potentially meet some new friends as you come here as well, because the student ambassadors employment scheme that we have here is basically run by students for potential students coming in. So we come in, you come in, we meet you, we greet you, we talk to you, and we try and find out what you're all about as well, and kind of tell you some of the things that we're working on. So hopefully, Katie, that has answered some of your questions or concerns that you might have. Sorry, I do apologise, that might be been a bit of a long-winded answer, but it's best to kind of get all that information out. So do keep your questions coming, and do type them in the bottom of the screen. I should be able to see those as they come up live. So some of the other things that you can expect when you come to Birmingham City University is the university is actually on a massive investment scheme right across the board, and not just for media and communications. We've just had a new building open this last year at Curzon. We've got some more coming to provide extra facilities. We're also having the new School of Music, or the Conservatoire, which will be opening next year, should you choose to come to BCU. And that provides some interesting opportunities with regards to that collaboration that I was talking about earlier, especially with things like live streaming and live streaming performances from music students. So there is some potential there, and that's come from a massive investment by the university to expand those facilities. So there's that. It's also it's interesting actually, because as part of the applicant visit day today, one of the journalism lecturers rightly pointed out that one of the best things about coming to Birmingham City University is its location. It's such an important thing for media and communications, the location and the access that you have, not just in terms of facilities of the university, but outside of the university, is extremely important. So, for example, not too far away from this building, we have Digbeth in Birmingham, which is full of creative industries and PR companies and music labels. Outside the actual front of the building, we should have the HS2 line. If you follow the news, obviously the HS2 line is a massive project being undertaken by the government to connect the north and south via the Midlands. So that's here. There's always something going on within the city. We've got cultural elements, we've got a financial district, we have things like the Boring Shopping Centre, for example, and all these kinds of things require media coverage, be it PR, be it graphic design, be it journalists and media coverage. So location is absolutely paramount, and again, that's part of the reason I chose to come here. In comparison, if you think of the cost of what it costs to live in London, I'm not saying don't go work in London or live there, but Birmingham is fantastic because it's doing its own thing and it's different enough, and there's so much within the city that by being a member of this university you actually benefit, and you actually get to contribute, because it's still a very much growing city and something that's building, and there's so much going on here that you'd really benefit from that. So as I say, keep your questions coming, and I'll see them in the comments below. If you do want to keep up to date with what's going on with Birmingham City University and specifically the School of Media, you can follow us on Twitter at BCU Media, or alternatively at MyBCU. It's usually the best way to find out ongoing information if you're still looking at Birmingham City University. I should just point out that last year we did one of the first things that any kind of university has done, which is we actually accepted clearing up applications through social media. So if you have any concerns about grades and stuff like that, there's always that possibility that you could come through clearing via social media, and that was actually a first in terms of universities, and that makes the whole process a little bit easier. So if you have any concerns about that, it's not a problem. We're quite happy to engage via social media and so on. So yeah, if you're thinking about coming here, there's some other benefits that you can consider as well. We have a employment scheme here called the Graduate Plus scheme, and basically that's designed to kind of benefit you should you choose to do extracurricular activities outside your course. And the idea of that is to kind of help you build the skill sets you need outside of your course, because certain specialisms and certain things will only train you for certain things, and there's an element of engaging students to go out and learn other things, and we have the facilities to do that here, but then there's also the actual industry elements of it as well, and all of these things are things that can be brought into the Graduate Plus scheme, which when you do eventually leave university with your degree, you will be able to get a letter of recommendation from the university, and various other things as well. So that is an extremely beneficial thing for you as you leave the university after graduating, because you're really getting a kind of stamp seal of approval beyond just accepting your degree. So that is something that's extremely useful for going into the industry. So there are some other key things coming in to BCU in the long-term aspects that are worth considering as well, especially if you have an entrepreneurial spark, or you've considered that you want to do a media and communications degree, and then you might work in a field like I am at the moment, say for example VR and 360 degree content. You might decide that you want to continue and that you have an idea for potentially a business. So what the university's working to do is build a new business innovation centre called STEAM House, and it's designed, the first phase of it is going to be open in 2017, and essentially it's co-working, artist production, incubation and networking facilities for small and medium-sized businesses. I'll shorten that down. It's an incubator hub, and that is something that Birmingham absolutely needs. I do some extra work for outside the university with regards to incubator hubs, and they're constantly cropping up, and the more that we have, the better it is for you as a student and studying here, because it gives you more opportunities to pursue your own kind of creative ideas and really turn them into business ideas, money making things. So you've essentially got the opportunities to create for yourself, but we should point out that even if that's not the case, there are plenty of partnerships and plenty of schemes that you can go into. So for example, we run a Sky scholarship scheme where you can apply, and you can do a placement with Sky. It's paid. It is a bit of a competition, but it's absolutely worth it. But we've also got other clients, for example, Jaguar Land Rover, Sky is one of them. I'm just trying to think who else we've had. Disney. There's lots of music-based stuff. Yeah, I'm at a loss with the amount of partners we work with, because there's so many of them. It's hard to keep track. I mean, even here, and this is something I was reading up about earlier that I didn't actually know about, but it's exciting, especially if you're looking at doing a media and comms course and you're a bit of a gamer, is that we actually work with the Sony Academic Alliance on a scheme called PlayStation First, which allows self-publishing and development for PS4 games. So, again, that is one area that even if you came in to do a media and communications degree, that you could kind of diversify into, because that's kind of the key theme here, is you're not kind of tied down by what you do. Yes, there are specialisms and there's certain practices that you'd have to go into, but then outside of that, there is an encouragement to kind of go beyond what it is you would normally do and find out about these other things. I think in the next couple of weeks, there's an actual open competition called Game Jam, which invites anybody that has any kind of coding or development experience to kind of get involved and create games on the fly, and it's done over a couple of day period, and then obviously people come things. So yeah, I mean that's essentially a kind of interesting point to consider there when coming to the university, is that you're not kind of tied down by specifically doing what it is that you've come to do. There are many kind of other things that you can do. So I'm going to take a breather for a sec. Is there any questions out there for people that are watching that you might have? Is there anything that you're concerned about beyond the initial kind of interview process? If there is, please do put them in the comments. And don't forget, even if you if you're watching this back later on and you maybe can't think of a question that you want to ask now, don't forget, as I said before, you can get in touch with us on social media via, I would recommend the best way to do it is via Twitter at BCU Media or at MyBCU. But of course you can come to the Facebook page and ask questions here as well, which is simply facebook.com/Birmingham School of Media. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about my journey and how I got here, some of the things that I'm working on. We've talked about the interview process. We've talked about some of the partners that we work with across the university. And we've talked about some of the things that are going to happen in the future and why the location of the university is important. So maybe some of the things we should consider here is the facilities as well. If you come to the School of Media, we actually have fantastic facilities here. There's no denying it. We really do. And I'm pretty certain that most students that are currently here at the moment, everyone from first years to MAs and PhDs will agree within the media context is the facilities here are absolutely fantastic. We have access to TV studios, which aren't just available for commercial partners, they are available for students to book out and actually work on their own projects, and they're encouraged to do so. Myself, I have used these TV studios, I've been trained to use them, I've booked them out regularly, and there's something to be said for being able to do these productions at a very high professional standard. And in order to do that, you do need the facilities and equipment, and it is here for you. But that's just on the TV side of it. I mean, we have radio studios here as well. Again, another area that I've worked in within my time here at the university. And again, many people within student bodies, such as the student radio station, which is Scratch Radio, which have won many awards, would agree that their radio facilities are fantastic. But we've also got things like photography labs, we've got computer labs for coding and stuff. So, yeah, and the facilities aren't just open to media students, they are open across the school as well. And they are what's on the site, but it's what you can do outside of the university, again, that should encourage people to get involved. So, for example, we have a hires and loan system here, and basically you can rent, I say rent, it's probably the wrong word, but you can loan equipment for free from the university. Some of it will require you to complete training courses, but once you complete those training courses, it allows you to really go out and produce professionally high standard projects for your own potential businesses, your assignments, and so much more, you know. And there was very much that kind of encouragement there to do that. So yeah, I can't fault the university in that respect, because, you know, the facilities you are just blown away. And I would certainly say, if you are considering BCU, come to an open day and see them for yourself. And the facilities are just one part of it. You know, we could have the best facilities, but it's also having the expertise behind that as well. And many of the people that will train you in using the facilities here actually are still practicing within their field of professionalism. So, for example, when we have radio producers here that still actively produce radio content outside of the university. So it's not like they are training you to use equipment and then that's it. That's the end of that relationship. It actually is a case of where they will train you, you know, they'll get you the experience that you need or that you want, and then continue on that journey with you to kind of show you to get you to a point of where they are in their careers. And that is across the board, be it journalism, be it PR, be it music. Yeah, so it is worth considering that. So let me have a look here and see if there's anything else that we can cover for you. Again, do type your questions below, and I will endeavour to answer those as best as possible. Now, it is worth pointing out that with the School of Media being in the city centre, one of the things we often have to deal with regards to open days and applicant days is we always have questions about accommodation. So, for example, where's the best places to live in Birmingham, and so on. We actually have two major accommodation buildings within a couple of minute walking distance of the university. So there's the Jennings building, and then there's also the new building that's just opened, which is the Locks. And there are various different other accommodations that are linked with the university around the city as well, but they're all within travelling distance. So if you are studying here at Media and Communications, it's more than likely you'll be looking at Jennings and the Locks, with them being in close proximity. And they're fairly reasonably priced for the students that go into those, and you can't find too many complaints with those. So yeah, I mean, in terms of accommodation, you're covered there as well. So what other things? I'm just trying to think what else we usually get asked on applicant days. As you can imagine, obviously it's been quite a long day today, so I've had to deal with quite a few queries already. So let me go through some of the questions that I usually get asked on an applicant day or an open day. So one of the key things is what are the lecturers like here on a Media and Communications course? Fantastic, it is all I can really say. The support that I've received from many lecturers here in regards to my specialism has been fantastic. I cannot fault them, and they know what they're talking about as well. And no question's ever a stupid question. I think that's the thing. It can be a bit daunting when you first come to university. So having a kind of almost open door policy initially when you get here, and being able to contact, lecturers and tutors that not only know the professional side of the industry and how hard it can be, but also can take that into account when considering you are starting on a new journey here. And so it's certainly been in my experience that a lot of the staff here have kind of contributed to that journey and been extremely helpful with regards to dealing with any issues that I might have about the course, about my health, for example. So what are the lecturers like? I cannot fault them. I really can't. And again, it's like I said before, they are practicing professionals. So they do continue to practice their craft, and they know it's difficult. So what are the lecturers like? Fantastic. It seems like a one-word answer, but I'm pretty certain that any kind of former media students that have come to Birmingham City University could probably put individual names out there, to recommend getting in touch with. And current students would probably praise various members of staff, and they'll give various reasons. But for me, it's about the support, it's about the professionalism, and it's about the knowledge, and that's something we have here in abundance. So that's something I often get asked when people come to open days and applicant days. We've covered the facilities. That is something we often get asked about here. What else? So we do have quite an active encouragement in extracurricular facilities. I've mentioned this earlier on the stream, but While there is plenty of opportunities that come through the emailing system for students that may want to take freelance opportunities and stuff, there's a number of things you can do within the university itself. So the Students' Union supports and helps to run a number of societies, and they range from everything from the Society of the Law right through to anime societies, there's gaming societies, I think there's even a Harry Potter society, and that's really diverse, and these are things that you can kind of join and get involved with. In terms of the media based extracurricular services, we have a group called Scratch, and they basically cover everything from photography, radio, TV, and journalism, or we should say magazine publication. And these are all activities that students can get involved with, and they do supply things like training. They'll help you out with gear, they can help build your confidence in regards to your craft. So having these kinds of societies on site is extremely useful. In fact, the very first year I was here at the university, I actually contributed a large amount of time to Scratch magazine, which is published here at the university, and that helped me build my own confidence in my own writing. So there are certainly options with regards to that, and as I said before, there is the ability to kind of take up freelance opportunities which regularly come through the email systems. So what else do we usually get asked? We often on applicant open days visits usually get asked about employment opportunities. Both the university and the Students' Union regularly have job openings, and they can range from everything to what I'm doing now as a student ambassador and live streaming and taking questions and providing information. You may choose to do an ambassador role where you greet the next generation of students after you've come here yourself. You may choose to do a marketing role as well. There's jobs like that. So the variety of student jobs here is massive, and there's plenty of them here. But as I said before, you know, these jobs kind of fit in and around your studies. And with this being based in Birmingham City Centre, there's obviously lots of other potential job opportunities around the city centre that are media related. So social media enterprise, for example, there's quite often job opportunities for that. Filming, you know, if you're a TV specialist, and somebody might require you to film on a project, so there's that as well. And one of the other things actually talking about TV job opportunities is the university has a kind of outlet company called Parkside Media House, and that's essentially a runners pool where you can join the runners pool and get paid to basically experience and work on productions. Some of those are filmed here in Parkside, some of these are filmed externally, but quite often those that have been involved with the runners pool have gone on to do running within professional production companies and built a career out of that. So there are job opportunities aplenty, certainly within the university, within the Students' Union, and there's certainly media-based job opportunities as well. So these are some of the things that are worth considering, you know, when coming to the university as well. So again, I'm going to reiterate the social media side of things, and again, I encourage you to place your questions in the stream. No question is stupid, so please do ask away. That's what I'm here for. And again, you know, if you if you decide that you might have a question after the stream's finished, you can again, as I say, tweet us at BCU Media or alternatively at MyBCU, and follow the Facebook page, which is simply facebook.com/Birmingham School of Media. Apologies.
BCU starting shortly, and all students and staff, please begin to make your way out to the exit on level 2. Thank you.
Apologies. On a Saturday, because we're outside of term time, this building does close at 7 o'clock. So, as you can see, the alarm system quite clearly works. But yes, that was just a brief notification. So I do apologise for that. There was no way of getting around that and avoiding that in the stream. But yes, for the most part, actually coming back to the facilities side of things, is that the university does have long opening hours during term time, and quite often we usually have a 24-hour library as well, which does help with regards to assignments and things like that you might need to use those facilities for. So, I'm just trying to think if there's any kind of other information that we should include in the live stream initially. So we should probably look at some of the things with regards to opportunities outside the university. When you come here, regardless of where you come from, you have equal opportunities to go travelling. We do actually run the Erasmus scheme here, so if you're a first year student or I think it's first or second year students, you can apply to go and do 6 months to a year of your course at various locations around the world, and this includes places like America, and recently we've included Australia, there's Finland, there's Spain. So there is plenty of opportunities for you to study and travel as well, and that's quite a unique opportunity within the university to do that. So and these are usually subsidised as well, so that is worth considering when you come here for an open day or an interview. So with that in mind, we should probably bring this live stream to a close, unless anybody has any further questions. So we don't seem to have any further questions with regards to this now. This is something that the university is hoping to do more of in the future, with regards to live streaming and taking questions and answers over social media. So again, I can't express enough how important it is for you to get in touch with us, and because quite a lot of the time the replies are usually from students themselves, you can pretty much guarantee that you're going to get some kind of real honest answer with regards to the query you might have. So I do encourage you to actually get in touch with us on social media. So yeah, again, facebook.com /Birmingham School of Media, on Twitter at MyBCU, at BCU Media. So hopefully this live stream's been okay. It's been a long day, as I said before. We are coming to the end of buildings closing, but again, like I say, we'll continue to look at doing some more of these, and hopefully have some more interactive ways of doing this in regards to being able to view the campus and the facilities remotely. But that's it for now. Thank you for joining me on the live stream. It's been appreciated. And please do, like I say, get in touch and don't hesitate. So, if you are thinking of applying to BCU, be sure to reach out to us with any queries you might have, and we'll answer those. And if you do get in touch with us and you get contacted about coming here for an applicant day or an open day, I do encourage you to come and see why this university is so highly regarded by the staff that work here, everyone from the support services and the lecturers, right through to a lot of the research and backroom staff. But also, I do encourage you to come here and embrace the student culture and see it for yourself. See what goes on in this building, because you know, we can quote statistics at you, we can throw all this kind of information, but actually there's something to be said for coming here. And I'm sure many other students who are currently studying here or have studied here in the past will tell you that part of the reason they probably come here, and I know this is certainly the case for myself, is that once I came here and I saw the potential and saw how the student community was, and speaking to the students myself, you know, ambassadors, and understanding more about the university on a one-to-one basis, and actually being here, that kind of made my decision for me. And you know, I think back now, you know, talking to a student ambassador, and here I am as a student ambassador now talking to you over a brand new technology. You know, it comes full circle. So do come to the university and see it for yourself. So I'd like to certainly thank everybody for tuning in, and like I say, we'll hopefully do some more of these again in the future. For now, take care, stay safe, and thank you for watching.